Barber, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Above the Dave, we're talking on the pod, and we're talking about the biscuits, and we're going to be talking about the jams, because that's just what we do, folks. Pleasure to be here, Above the Dave. Pleasure is all mine, John. This is, can I call you Babs? I'd prefer if you didn't call me Babs, but if you called me by my name, John the Barber, host of the Touchdowns All Day podcast from Osiris Media. And if you could also make sure that you tell everyone that I talk about the jams, and I'm going to talk about what we're doing. And we got stuff lined up, folks. We got great stuff coming down the pipe. So now, don't call me Babs. Call me John. Or call me the Barber. But don't call me late for dinner. That's cool. I can totally call you John. So John, you're a guitar player for a band. And you have a podcast of your own. I'll tell you what I don't talk about on this podcast. I don't talk about self-driving cars. I don't know about self-driving cars. Should you be in a car that drives itself? I don't know, folks. That's not what we talk about here. If we did, I'd get in a car and I'd let it drive me around. And then I'd maybe come back, tell you if I got in a crash. Did I think the car drove well? Did I feel safe? That's just not what we talk about on the pod. We're here to talk about the biscuits and the jams. I'm not here to talk about Domino's Pizza. Should you eat Domino's? Is it better than Pizza Hut? That's not what I'm here to talk about, folks. Not on the pod. If you want to hear about people eating Domino's Pizza, then you can go to another pod where they'll probably talk about the Domino's Pizza tracker. Is it good to have a tracker for the Domino's? Do you want to know when your pizza is being made? I don't know. I don't know if I want to know if my pizza's being made by a man or by a woman. Do I need to know the physical breakdown of these people? No. But yet the tracker tells me who's making the pizza, what kind of pizza it's making, and then I get to see when someone's coming with my pizza, what his or her name is, what car they drive, and then when the pizza arrives, which is, frankly, folks, the only thing I need to know about the pizza delivery is when the pizza's at my door. So I can pay for the pizza, bring it inside, and inevitably see that it's the wrong order. That's what I'm saying, folks. That's not what we're going to talk about on the pod. Above the Dave, if I wanted to talk about the Domino's Pizza tracker, I'd talk about it. That's not what we do on the pod. You're right. That is not what we are here to talk about at all. That's right. My pod's not about breast pumps. About what? If I wanted to talk about carbon, then I'd talk about carbon. Are we releasing carbon? I'm releasing carbon right now. And I'm breathing in oxygen. And plants, they're giving me the oxygen. And I breathe it in. And the climate is changing all around, and nature is healing. And yet, here I am, just a guitar player for a jam band, listening to jams on the pod, talking about the jams. Some are high energy, some are going to be a little more funky, a little more cool. Maybe my shades are down. Maybe we're having a good time on stage. We're smiling, and that's just what we're doing. But I'm not here to be on the pod and talking about carbon. Because, what is a plant? It's emitting carbon. But then I see that you have things like a power plant. Like in New Jersey, where I'm from, we have power plants. And none of these plants look like other plants. Why is it called a plant? Why is it called this? That's not something we talk about on the pod. We stick to talking about the disco biscuits and where we're going and what we're doing and the year ahead. And we got great stuff. Buy the merch. And we're just going to be throwing touchdowns and listening to jams because that's what we're here to do. Exactly. That's what we're here to do. I have a ton of questions, John. So let's try to get this back on track here, all right? And another thing. Oh, God. I woke up this morning, put on my sunglasses. First thing I do. That's the first thing you do every morning? First thing I do is I put on my shades. And then I put on my pants. They have cats shooting laser beams on my pants. And I put them on just like you. One leg at a time. I put them on backwards, just like the 90s hip-hop group Crisscross. I walk around my house wearing tube socks and a hoodie with my pants on backwards, sipping probably some coffee, maybe some tea, maybe some honey. I don't know. It depends on the day. Sometimes I have a coffee, and sometimes I go out and I'll get a coffee. But where do I go to get a coffee? That's something we could talk about on the pod. No, I really hope we're not going to talk about that. Do I go to Starbucks? Or should I go to Pete's? I could go to Coffee Bean, but I really, really like Starbucks. When I go there, I just feel good. I wear my shades, and I'm in there, and I order a venti caramel macchiato. And I'll sometimes just sip it outside while looking at Twitter and seeing all the fans who are so excited about the podcast, the Disco Biscuits, and how Set Break is over. Dude, and no one is more excited about Set Break being over than me. And I gotta say, out of all the songs that have come out in the last couple years since Set Break has been over, dude, I gotta hand it to you. My favorite is Running Into the Night. And that's what it's all about, folks. I'm playing guitar with my friends, and we're having a good time. And I'm up there, and I'm playing, and I'm thinking to myself, this is pretty good. I'm liking what I'm hearing, and it's really just playing epic jams and making the fans scream and yell, and that feels good. Dude, you're like the ultimate rock star up there. I mean, you're shredding, constantly. It just, man, I could only imagine the feeling. It feels good to be in the Biscuits, and it feels good to play the jams. Great. And I think you actually said that you brought in some clips today. That's right. I brought in some clips. Love for us to listen and just sit back and chill. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I had this first one queued up. So is there anything you want to say about this clip? You can just play the clip. Okay. Here's the first clip that John has brought in for us to listen to. I'm very excited. Here we go. Folks, if you think that's a wet cat, you haven't seen what I got in the tub. Wait, I'm a little confused. I thought you said you brought in a clip. There it is. That's the clip. That's the clip? I thought you brought in a clip of the Disco Biscuits. No, this is a clip from a party where I told a joke, and they loved it, and I wanted to bring it in. Oh, okay. Oh, that was at a party. At a party, a couple months ago, and the joke did so well, I had to bring it on. Yeah, it sounded like it did well. I don't really know the context of why, but it sounded like you did well. Okay, well, that was unexpected, but you brought in another clip here, so that's good. Tell us about this next clip. Let's just move right along. The clip speaks for itself. All right, let's hear the next clip from John. Hey, folks, a man walks into a bar. Ouch. Really? Pretty good stuff, if you ask me. That was at a party as well? That one was from a time I was waiting in line at the DMV for what had to be 2 to 3 hours. And I just busted that one out. Everyone thought it was funny. And I had to record it. And you were at the DMV recently, huh? That clip is 4 years old. That's 4. You've been saving that for 4 years? Okay, well, I was really hoping we'd get to listen to some Disco Biscuits, but, okay, well, I have a whole bunch more questions I wanted to ask you. Do you guys have big plans coming up for 2022? We got so much stuff I can't even talk about. And won't talk about it. Even though I want to talk about it, I'm not going to do it because I'm told by my manager that I can't reveal all the dates and all the plans. But I can tell you that we have music that we've made and we are thinking about releasing it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's ready. It's hard to tell. And I'm thinking to myself, when I'm making the music, is this a good jam? Am I in the moment? Is this the flow state that I want to be in when I'm making the music? And then I think to myself, Barber, have you done your taxes this year? Did you do your what? Because that is what goes through my head sometimes on stage. I'll think, this jam is great. I'm really into what Magner's doing right now. But oh my God, I haven't done my taxes. And it's time for taxes. And then I'm thinking, I got a tax guy. And all he does is taxes at one point of the year. Meaning that the rest of the year, if you're a tax guy, what, do you have the whole year off to just do whatever you want to do? And I'm thinking of this on stage. And I'm thinking tax guys probably should do something else with their time when they're not doing taxes. Maybe they should do something like a tax and a wax. Like you do taxes when it's tax time. And the rest of the year, you can wax people where they need waxing. And do a tax wax situation. Dude, that's really funny. I really like that idea. That's a really good idea. Perfect. I got a new clip. You got a new what? Oh, you recorded you just telling that little bit. Save the good joke. It was a good joke. Yeah, no, it's a great idea. It's really funny. Okay, well, Barber, it has been great talking with you. I know we're getting short on time here, so I got to ask a question. I've been meaning to ask since I started listening to this band. My personal favorite Disco Biscuits song is The Very Moon. And I got to ask, man, I've always wanted to know. Like, I know it's part of the Hot Air Balloon, but did you write that song, like, with a certain girl in mind? Is there any backstory, or can you give me anything on, like, who Leora is, and is that based on anyone real in your life? Great question. Love to talk about it. You know, Leora, what? Above the Dave. Is that the sound of nitrous? Oh, yeah, Ice Cold Larry's actually in the parking lot. Well, then let's go do some balloons. All right, yeah, you know what? We should just wrap this whole thing up. Guys, we're going to go do some balloons. This has